purpose of this video is to talk about a binary search. Basically what happens is we have a list or an array that's this big. We go to the middle of it. And what happens here is we check to see if the value in the middle is what we're looking for. If it is, we're going to return its position. If it isn't, we're going to ask a question. We're going to say, hey, is what we're looking for, is it greater than what's at this position? So suppose I'm looking for a 14. Is the 14 greater than what's being held here at this position? It is greater than 8. So then what happens is you wipe all these out and you go here. And you find the middle spot here and you say, hey, is the value I'm looking for 14? Is it what's in the middle position? And it's not. So you ask yourself, is the value I'm looking for greater than what's here? And it is. So you wipe all this out. And then what happens is the algorithm will find this spot, and this will become what this is what we're looking for, and it will return its position. So if we were to actually look for 14 here, okay, we would identify first as position 1 in the list right here, and we would identify last as position 8, and mid would be 1 plus 8, 9, divided by 2, 4.5, and we round it to 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what we ask ourselves is what we're looking for greater than what's here? And it is. So now what happens is, first is assigned mid plus 1. First is assigned 6. Last is still 8. Mid is now 6 plus 8, 14 divided by 2, 7. So we wind up position 7. We say, is 14 what we're looking for greater than that? And it is. So now what happens is, first becomes mid plus 1, 8. Last is still 8. Okay, mid is 8 plus 8, 16 divided by 2 is 8. And we say, hey, is the value we're looking for 14 greater than what's here? No. Is it less than what's here? No. That must mean it is what's here. And we return its position. We report in 8. Now you can see the code that I have here. Okay, I'm going to move this slightly out of the way here. And I'll resize it just a little bit. So I have a binary search. Here's my list. Notice the data is in order. And I have the value first, last, and mid. And I'm going to go ahead and run this. And you're going to see these values change. So let's see. So when we run this, okay, first is 1, last is 8, mid is 5. Then first becomes 6, 8, mid is 7. Then first is 8, last is 8, mid is 8. And then it's going to go ahead and report back. We found what we were looking for at position 8. I'll go ahead and run it again. 1, 8, and 5. Doesn't find it. 6, 8, and 7. 8, 8, and mid is 8. And it's going to say we found what we were looking for at position 8. And here is the exact code. I'm going to let you go ahead and take a look at all this. This is our call, our block, our reporter block, binary search. And we say that we're looking for 14 in this particular array. So we pass this list down to A list. We pass 14 down the value. We set first to 1. We set last to the length of the list, which is going to be 8. We wait a couple seconds. That's for the purpose of this action on the right here, for you to see what's happening. We repeat until first is greater than last, because we have to have an endpoint. And if we don't find what we're looking for, we're going to return a -1. That's what the code down here says. If we don't find what we're looking for, we're going to report right here a -1. So we're going to repeat what we're going to do until first is greater than last. We set mid to first plus last divided by 2. Okay. and we round it up. If the value we're looking for is greater than the item mid of the list, okay, we set first to mid plus 1. Okay, now if that's not true, if the value we're looking for is less than item mid of the list, we're going to actually set last to mid minus 1. That means if what we're looking for is stored down here, okay, we actually will get rid of everything from 8 to the right, and we will get a new middle point from what's left, which is to the left of the 8. Okay, now if we do find what we're looking for, we return mid because that's its position. And if we don't find what we're looking for, we're going to return or report a -1. I do think it's important that you guys try this out and test it multiple ways.